Hello, my name is Vinita Pande, and today I wanted to just try to give a brief talk on the Nadi as it relates to past, present, and future, and the whole question of free will and destiny. So, just as a background, the Nadi Shastra are ancient palm leaf manuscripts of India that make individual predictions about people. And these were written about 5,200 plus years ago, before the start of the Kali Yuga. What is astounding is that the Nadis, even though they were written by these sages, these rishis, enlightened beings, 6,000 years ago, they can tell very accurately who will come to read their predictions, which year they'll come, after which event they will come, literally on which day they will come, and what will be happening in their lives, what is their name, what is their parents names, husband or wife's name, and their family situation, what's happening in their lives, and so on. So how is it that these sages could tell what would happen many thousand years into the future? And not just that, I'll tell you a case where a lady went to read her first nadi, about say 25 years ago. And the nadis also give certain remedies for our karma, for our issues, problems. And they recommended certain remedies to her, but which she could not do. And many years later, about 20, 23 years later, she went to the nadi again with her son. And in that nadi, it said that we had told you to do certain remedies, but you didn't do them. And because of that, you missed out on certain opportunities because you were supposed to become almost like a guru figure, but like a yoga teacher and help people and guide people. But because you didn't remove these obstacles, that didn't come about. And by the time she went 20, 25 years later, she was much older. So both these leaves were written approximately the same time. Say it's 5,500 years ago. Now, it's just that the leaves were opened at different times in the span of, say, 20 years. In the present time, it was opened with a 20-year difference, but they were written at the same time. So obviously, and these leaves were read by two separate people. They were two separate bundles. Everything was different. So it means that the rishis and Shiva is the divine lord or divine being in Vedic Dharma, who is synonymous with the supreme. We tend to term him as Shiva, but he's really the supreme being. So Shiva and the enlightened sages knew that she would not do the remedies. But in her first Nadi reading, they recommended that she does it, probably knowing that she would not choose to. Her free will or whatever her circumstances were, she would not do it. And in the second Nadi reading, which is 20 years later, which happened 20 years later, the rishis said that, you did not do the remedies that we recommended to you. So this is just one example. So if they already knew, does this mean that everything is predestined? Is everything already written? Is the script already written? And if so, what is our purpose here on this earth? Don't we have free will? Can't we choose? Is it already determined what we will choose? And what are we supposed to do then in this life if everything is already predetermined? So, from our perspective, from our linear perspective, yes, we are supposed to make choices. We are supposed to uh, do as per our wisdom or lack of it. And time is linear from our aspect. So, if you can think of it, we are in one level of reality. And from this level of reality, we are supposed to function as per the rules of this level of reality. It's like in a video game, you're at level one. There are certain rules for level one, and you play by those rules, right? So Again, in Vedic terms, we are supposed to be dharmic, uh, follow what is wise, which is righteous, which is beneficial for us, and lead our lives according to that, uh, and have our desires based on that, and acquire wealth based on that. And finally, our ultimate goal is to attain moksha. So, the meaning of life and the purpose of life is to live a good life, make wise decisions and choices, and ultimately gain moksha or liberation or enlightenment. That is the purpose of life. So it's very difficult for us to understand how come everything is predestined. So let me explain in by giving you an example. Supposing you are a creator and you script many movies, right? And you make all these movies with all the characters and everything, and you write the script and you shoot them, and the movies are created. Supposing you have like tons of movies. Now you want to launch the movies that you have made on a platform. And so you uh, make a platform called Netflix. You're also the sort of the creator for Netflix, and you establish a platform like Netflix, and you put all your content there, all your movies there. Now, when you go to this platform, which has been made called Netflix, all these movies that were made by this creator, this art director, whatever, um, are already there. So that means that the script and the screenplay and the acting and everything has already happened. So when you look at a movie, you can see the whole movie there. That whole movie in Netflix is is containing everything from the start to the finish, right? Now you can go into that movie, fast forward to any moment in time in that movie, and stop at that moment and look, okay, at the in this scene, which is 1 hour into the movie. These are the characters that are there, this is the names of those characters, this is their parents, this is their wife, this is their children, this is what's happening in this scene, what has just happened, what will just happen. You can rewind, you can forward, you can do whatever you like because you have access to the entire movie. In terms from the level of the movie, there is a past, present, and future. But for a person that is watching the movie, they can go anywhere in that time, past, present, and future, and look at every scene or any scene they wish. Now, by the playing by the rules, they will not tell you certain things. Like, the person um, who is looking at that, supposing you compare this now to the Nadi. It's a rishi. Now the rishi comes in and he has transcended time, he can see all of time. Now he can see everybody's movies, and the rishi and Shiva can go into that particular time in the person's life, know exactly what's happening, and that's how they give predictions. But they play by certain rules when they give predictions. They do not tell you what choices you will make. They tell you what you need to know. They have the wisdom to tell you what you need to know in order to help you to progress towards liberation, in order for you to remove certain obstacles that by grace can be removed. Not all obstacles, not all karma can be removed. Some karma, some obstacles can be removed through remedies, but not all of them. They will also not tell you whether you will make certain choices or not make certain choices, because that's a rule of the game. They have left it up to you, the character in the movie, to play that part, even though they know. So we have to play our part in this movie. The script has already been written, the director is already directing. We have to act the best we can, and we have to make the right choices. From our perspective, we have to live according to our dharma. We cannot mix the two. But when you want to understand how did this happen? You have to understand from a transcendental perspective. How is all of time happening now? So you cannot confuse the two. When you're in the present, you have to act according to the laws of the present, which is dharma. You have to act according to what is righteous, what is wise, what is correct, what is beneficial. You have to act. Now, if you make mistakes, then there is repercussions, because karma is also a principle for this level of reality. So there are many levels of reality, and we cannot mix the rules of other levels of reality. So when you're functioning from this level of reality, you operate by the rules of this level of reality. It's just that these sages in Shiva know all the principles and rules for all the levels, all the realms of creation. They know for this realm, this is the rules. For the higher realm, this is the sort of rules, or how that, what the principles are. Is that the Shiva and the Rishis, they have transcended all of space time, all the matrix, and they can see everything from beyond the matrix, beyond the veil, and they can understand everything. So I hope that explains how this whole Nadi thing works. How come they know the future? And how come, even though all the leaves were written around the same time, and you open it at different times in your life, um, you realize that they knew what you will do, or they knew what will happen, and also that your timeline changes. So if you read a Nadi 2 years from now, after you've done your remedies, you will see that the timeline has changed. Certain problems have gone away, certain things have been added or deleted, minor things, but at least the obstacles have reduced or removed, and certain good things are pulled in. Good events are pulled in, certain good things will happen because the obstacles for them to happen have been removed. So this is a vast topic, but um, it is something to ponder upon. I don't have all the answers, but this is a great discovery for me as well. So I hope you enjoyed listening and continue to watch as we unfold more of the mysteries of the Nadi. And please do read my book when it's published. It'll be published later this year. The name will be Return of the Rishis. So thanks for listening.